Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video we're going to take a look at the Cardano chart and the Bitcoin chart. And before we start, just a few words about some news that have come out. I mean, obviously you all know already about SundaeSwap and the testnet. That is currently being tested, and I think that is very important and really good news for the whole community. Yeah, people can go ahead and test SundaeSwap in the testnet. But also apparently this ERC20 converter is getting really closer to being finished, so it's now ready to go live, well, to go onto the testnet. That's what Charles has said. So that means that yeah, ERC20 tokens can go native on Cardano probably fairly soon, which is really good if everything goes all right in the test. I think that's really solid news, and this makes it very important because then people can convert their ERC20 tokens onto the Cardano blockchain, which makes it great by using Cardano's low fees and all the advantages the blockchain has. And then just small news that have come out: Moonstake wallet now supports Cardano NFTs. There are quite a few projects now with regards to NFTs on the Cardano blockchain, so this is now also supported by the Moonstake wallet instead, in case you are interested in any way in NFTs. So I think that's fairly cool. It carries on, looking at Bitcoin, however, I think we are continuing to go down here, primarily anyway towards my target range down there, below 30k pretty much, and we are on our way towards it. So 1 2 3 4 5 to the downside here, we have completed that. I think we could also assume that would obviously be a bit of an alternative, that we have come down here already in a 3, that the 5 will be down there somewhere. So this could indicate that we haven't seen the wave 5 yet. A few people asked about that, and yeah, that is totally possible, but it's really hard to say yet what count will play out. But in all scenarios, in my view, the move will end here in this yellow target range between 20 and 30k. That's my view. And looking at this as a wave 4 is actually not too unlikely. So that would indicate, if we take the fibs again, and that basically depends on how far we came up higher here. You're all retraced from the move down. If we take all the way the fibs, you can actually see that we have come back to the 0.382 fib level here at 52.3k roughly. And that really is an ideal target level. As I've said so many times before, for a wave 4, the 0.382 fib level is an ideal target level for a wave 4. So maybe this was the wave 4 and we now come down in a wave 5. Either way, in every scenario that I've shown you, it points down. But still, I'm holding on to my Bitcoin and so on at the moment. I'm not selling anything. That has various reasons. A few questions have come up. Do you sell now and should you buy back lower? A few things here that why I don't do it. First of all, a lot of my cryptos are in the long-term holding portfolio as well. So I want to keep them, hold on to them. It also has tax reasons, and that's different for everybody. So everybody there needs to make the decision for their own. For example, in some countries, if you sell your crypto, you make a lot of gains that will then have an impact on your other income as well. So in some countries, you have a 1-year holding time where you don't pay any taxes after a year. So it has various reasons, so I'm not going to sell anything at the moment. Also, I sold a lot of my cryptos much lower. So for example, Bitcoin below 10k, there's no pressure. I don't have any pressure to sell this now. My assumption is that we're going to go higher anyway. So even if I zoom out a little bit just to make that clearer, even if we come back down into this yellow target area, what I actually expect, I wouldn't expect that we stay in here very long, because I would expect that we come out there fairly quickly. So yeah, I wouldn't be worried at all. Even if we go down lower, I would rather use that to add to my portfolio instead of now selling. What I will do, if we really get into this area here, which would assume that we make another ABC move here, and I did explain that all in previous videos. So basically having this as a wave A, B, C, something like that, that in that wave B up here, that we will come into that area, then I will consider selling some of my position, taking some of the risk out, because then I'm quite pleased with the price that I would be getting for some of them, and then expect another move down from there. Again, in each scenario, I think we're going to go down here, and nevertheless, down here, I wouldn't be worried at all. And also, just assuming everything I talked about here previously is really rubbish, and we go up from here, because there are chances that we do it. I'm not saying that I've got a crystal ball anyway, and you know that. Not saying I'm an expert here, but I think it's been fairly accurate so far for all the cryptos that I use the Elliott Wave analysis for. But if this was all rubbish and we actually turn out to be bullish here, then I haven't sold my positions. You know, then I am still in them, because all the cryptos that I bought, I believe in, and I think they will thrive. They will be good for the long term. I'm not investing in any shit coins, as you probably know. There are a few risky projects, very few, like NIOP, like Musible I did buy in the pre-sale, and don't know which one. Blocktopia, obviously, also as a very small cap crypto. I'm aware of that, but for them, you know, I'm just aware if they lose out on them, then that's it. You know, if they crash, if they go to zero, that's it. But for the other projects that I invested in, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Matic, for example, they will be there in the future. That's my view, you know. So I'm not worried at all, and I would rather use any setbacks here, any dips for buying, especially down here in this area, if we really get to it, what I primarily still expect. That's on Bitcoin. Cardano, not much news. Following Bitcoin, still in a descending, still following this descending trend line here that you can see on the chart that we talked about earlier. So not really anything new to point out here. But to be honest, Bitcoin is suffering today as well a little bit. So it is following Bitcoin. That's what we've seen on the ADA BTC chart. Not much new to point out here. Again, what I can say is that we are still in this yellow target range. You know, the 125 level did hold so far. But yeah, obviously if Bitcoin drops further, I would suggest that ADA also drops further. It's just what happens, unfortunately. And it all takes longer, that correction, than expected. That's, that is what is taking place. Again, people get frustrated, which I understand. Yeah, and that's why it is important to diversify as well. But overall, I think Cardano still has a long way to go to the upside. And even if we drop a little bit further, I still stick with Cardano. That's just my view. Of course, if you're not in Cardano, yeah, and if that project is not for you, you shouldn't invest. Overall, I expect still that turnaround here. Even if we drop below 125, if that level should not hold for whatever reason, which, if Bitcoin really drops down to 29K, don't think the 125 will hold. But then I still will expect that Cardano will do well here. And it's a growing ecosystem, so I'm going to hold on to my Cardano anyway. I'm not going to sell anything here, definitely not. That's just my view. Of course, everyone needs to decide that for themselves. At the moment, there's just not much news here on the chart. And I would expect as long as we don't, just go in once more, as long as we don't break above this key descending level here that you have, and that is currently at 139 here in the current hour here. If we don't break above that, then we will continue here this sort of sideways downward move together with Bitcoin, which is, to be honest, not looking much better at the moment. It's also moving here sideways, red candles here very recently. So if we can't very soon make another jump up here, and if we drop below 47K, that's what I said this morning as well, then I think the scenario that we're going down once more instead of going up into the yellow target area is becoming much more likely. At the moment, I stick with my bearish scenario anyway. It doesn't matter which one of them, but it all depends on how Bitcoin is moving now. So it's too early to say really, but everything points into this direction here. Either we go the longer way through this higher target area here between 55 and 63K, yeah, roughly, and then go down, or we go down straight away. That is these possibilities. And then if we go down straight away, I would expect some smaller corrections along the way anyway. That's what you always have, smaller retracements, smaller sideways moves. But overall, for me, there is no new impulse in the market here. Everything's going sideways or slightly down at the moment. So yeah, my scenario still stays. So just want to give you a quick update here on Bitcoin and Cardano. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.